most common entities for small businesses is what's called a limited liability company or an LLC. Now, why are so many small business owners forming LLCs? Well, first of all, the process to file is relatively straightforward and affordable. Secondly, an LLC can avoid a lot of personal liability as well as streamline the tax process. And these are two things that are always on a business owner's mind. So it sounds great, right? Everyone should have an LLC, right? Well, here we go with the lawyerly answer again. It depends. While there's a lot of benefits to having an LLC, there are some disadvantages, and you should understand both when deciding if that entity structure is right for you. And that's what we're talking about in today's video. So let's get started. The right lawyer makes the difference. AFJ Law Group. I'm attorney Alexis Johnson of AFJ Law Group, a business litigation firm specializing in all things business and real estate transactions. If you'd like to receive weekly legal informative content like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today we're talking all about an LLC, which is one of the most common business entity structures out there. But it's not the only one. So I'd invite you to check out our video talking about other common entity structures that I'll link to in the comments. But when it comes to forming an LLC, I've already touched on two of the biggest benefits. First, it can avoid personal liability onto the business owner. Second, it can streamline part of the tax process. But there's some other benefits as well as some drawbacks that you should be aware of when deciding if an LLC is right for you. And if you have questions about forming an entity structure or maybe even changing the entity structure that you have for your current business, be sure to reach out to my team at afjlawgroup.com, or you can call or text us at 248-266-2135. Now let's get into all things LLC. Before forming a limited liability company, you should become familiar with the advantages and disadvantages of an LLC to decide if it's the right entity structure for your business. As I said at the beginning, there are a lot of advantages to an LLC. The main being that an LLC has the ideal characteristic of a flow-through taxation of income, which means the business's income is a part of the business owner's income without a separate tax. A limited liability company also allows the owners to keep their personal property separate from the business and protects all assets from creditors. Things like cars, bank accounts, investments, and homes are protected. Members of the LLC remain protected so long as personal finances are kept separate from the business. Finally, forming an LLC is a straightforward filing process that is more affordable than other entity structures, even when working with a business attorney. While there are many advantages to an LLC, it has its limitations as well. For example, a judge ruling can determine that your LLC doesn't protect your personal assets if it's found that you have pierced the corporate veil. This occurs when members are held liable for illegal or fraudulent acts. These claims can be very common if you don't distinctly separate your personal assets from your business, or if there is an allegation that a member operated the business in a fraudulent manner. Fewer fringe benefits are also a disadvantage of LLCs. Employees of an LLC who receive fringe benefits, things like group insurance, medical reimbursement plans, medical insurance, and parking, must treat those benefits as taxable income. And finally, because of the lack of strict requirements for forming and governing an LLC, sometimes problems arise down the line. The best way to combat this is to work with an attorney to prepare a detailed operating agreement that's in place and protects the members' interests going forward.